So welcome to Challenge the Road. I've got some updates for you, but also I've got two things on your Land Rover I'd like you to do. But maybe also if you don't have a Land Rover, you should be doing this. Right, so before we get into the actual updates I've got for you, let's just go into two things that could really help. Now, I've done some research on this and they're still taking a lot of cars by us, leaving them unlocked. I know that's not in every situation, but the figures are very, very high actually. So 47% of vehicle thefts are an unlocked car. Now, I'm not saying that's all Land Rovers and newer models, Porsches or whatever, but we've got to help ourselves. Now, I always remember my wife, she always says she loves that power fold on the mirrors because, she goes to car parks, she knows it's closed. So all the cars now, we try and initiate that. So if you've got that function, I think sometimes you can just hold on the lock button and it will fold. What I'm also going to do for you, I'm going to do this weekend, I'm going to get a Range Rover, a Land Rover, a Vogue, whichever one, bring it over, because it's not just Range Rovers. I'm going to bring it over and show you how to do it. And I'm going to run through all the security features that you could have and use now, disabling keyless go. That's my second one for you. So disable keyless go, I think you should disable it. I have done videos in the past on that, on the main video. I'll put a link up to that now. But what I'm going to do is do like a description for you of everything that I've learnt and what I would do if I own that car now. So yeah, so it's been actually quite a tough 7 days. I'm not going to act that happy today because I'm not overly happy. I thought I had a solution and my cunning plan hasn't quite worked. But we'll go through that. But the first thing, I was pretty fed up because I'm trying to work on how we can get around this, how we can protect these values. Values have dropped massively, not just Land Rovers, but across cars. And I'll put up some numbers for you. But, some of the Evoques have lost 30% of value in 3 months. So these are huge drops. I'm just not happy about it. And nor are you. Obviously, if you own a Land Rover, these are huge drops. Now, I'm really hoping JLR do something. I know, I've had, tremendous comments, responses have been fantastic. I'm up to 52 responses, which is quite a lot. Very detailed as well, which is what I need. And hopefully, we will get something. I'm there to get something. I'm not here just to take part. I'm here to get, a real letter or something from JLR to reassure us, because my next point, it gets worse. And I said about making my own insurance company, an entrepreneur, I can, I feel like I can compete. And people are saying, messaging me going, Richard, if you do something, we'll go with you. And, I feel like, the insurance at the moment, I won't say how I feel, but I'm not that happy with it. Let's just say that. So at the moment, I've tried to become a wholesaler and I'm still working on that. But it seems like that's very tricky because if you've only got one single Land Rover product, I think you're going to struggle to get it insured, because they're coming back to me saying there's only 2 companies now out of 50 that will even insure a single Land Rover product at all. And I think it's going to go to 0. So if you've only got one, I think you're in a lot of trouble. And this is why we're seeing them go to auction and people aren't buying them. They're rapidly dropping in value. Now, this is Land Rover at the moment. This is not to say, other cars are being stolen with keyless go and these different functions, but this CAN bus is a problem. And I said at the weekend, I'm going to detail that a lot more for you and go into that. But I've gone to them and I've gone to 2 of the biggest insurers. I'm not as confident as I was. So I thought, well, how can I get around that? We've got to try and get around this because we're being penalised for something we haven't done. This is in the manufacturing. And probably what I'm thinking long term is, is this a bigger claim for all these depreciated values? But I'll go into what I thought. I thought, right, I'm going to get a cunning plan here. I'm going to get around this. I'm going to say, what about I set up an insurance just for theft? Because if everyone does the recalls and everyone's sensible, like locking the car, doing all these bits, putting a ghost on, these type of things, why is the insurance still so high? And I spoke to the insurance company and said, look, if I put all this on and I have a Ghost and I have this Tracker S7 and all this other wonderful stuff, a steering lock, a bloody, Rottweiler on the back seat, it makes no difference, they say. You have to have that anyway. So even if you put all that in, there's no real massive discount. So some people are still getting quotes. I mean, I said for a single Land Rover, if I come to you now, how much is it? It said minimum 10,000. Minimum 10,000 insurance. I'm like, geez, this is just ridiculous. So anyway, the cunning plan was, I thought, right, I'm going to work out all the thefts on Land Rover, set up a sort of guardian care plan for Land Rover owners, and I'm going to tell the insurance companies, I don't want theft cover, take it off. So if you imagine, it's like reverse engineering third-party fire and theft. So you had two covers in insurance, you could be fully covered, so I'm reverse engineering it. So I rang them and I said, I'm going to buy this Land Rover and I want to take off theft. And I thought my plan is going to work. And they said, you can't do it. You have to have that. So there's no way of lowering the premium. So I'd done all the numbers, got a business plan ready, and I thought, I'm going to do this. They're going to discount it 50% or something. There's a ratio we could do and we could get this done. And, yesterday afternoon, I thought I've got it. And then obviously I haven't. So I thought, well, I'll ring some more insurance companies because that's only one. So I rung two more. I said, look, I don't want theft cover. I don't want it. If it goes, it goes, knowing I've got this in the background. And they said, we can't take it off. So I thought, right, this is really a dead duck now. Because, I'm not sure what I can do with that. And it's just frustrating because I don't know where the end is with this. And it just doesn't look good. And it's just frustrating. So that's where I am. So the next thing is we've done a new letter to JLR today, which is going out. So this is 7 days. So 7-day update. We're going to send them all the responses and we're going to bump it up a bit more and say, look, come on, what are you going to do for us? Because the end is, the end. I mean, I don't know where we go. And I feel like if I've been exhausting all these avenues to try and get an end and I can't get an end goal, then you can't insure it. Or you just pay through the nose for the next 5 years because of this manufacturing problem they initiated. They had that in the Jaguars. They didn't put it in the Land Rover products. That's their fault. And it's, I am looking at different claims people are trying to put in for losing residuals and stuff. And at the moment, it's probably too early. But I just feel like if we've done everything and we've done the recalls and we've done the thing and the insurance is the same, not the same. It's like still treble, quadruple more or uninsurable. Where are we going? Because there's just no end. You won't have a Land Rover. That's the way I see it. You just have to take a hit on it and go somewhere else. But I am seeing other cars being stolen. I haven't done that yet because I'm trying to concentrate on like one thing at a time. So my plan now, new letter, carry on with the insurance, see what I can do and hopefully bring you something. Obviously, I'm not sponsored by anyone apart from my own Active Digital, which is my own mobile company. So I'm just trying to think how I can do it. And it's really just an update to say, yeah, I am working on it. I'm trying to get there. We're 7 days in from the letter. Let's get the new letter out. Over the weekend, let's produce some videos on what best practice is. Let's get that Land Rover over. Let me shoot a video on that. I've seen lots of other videos on YouTube and that, which are fine. But there's still some more things I think I can detail a bit better than what's out there. And even though that's giving great publicity to what's happening, I think we can sort of, all the stuff I've learned, I could just combine it into one quick 5-minute video for you just to secure it. So yeah, so that's an update. I hope you enjoy these videos. Please like, subscribe, share, and you'll hear from me in 7 days.